Hey guys, Rachele here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So this video is going to be about my junk journal and my December pages. So I'm already starting to see that I think that I'm going to run out here fairly early on because I am loving it so much. I never would have thought that I would love something so much as journaling, junk journaling though. And so I just wanted to share with you what I've been doing. So I shared with you guys my last month's, right? So this month I stepped it up a bit and I did a full page for December with just a few things in there. I still have my energy, my numerology energy or number energy for each of the days. I still have like when the full moon, the new moon. I've got a little symbol for what energy or what zodiac sign the moon is in as we go, you know, as it shifts through. My energy for the month was 6, which is harmony, community, domesticity, love, healing, service, right? So I put all that pretty much on there because this is not my actual, like, I don't do my appointments and all that in this. This is a different kind of journal. So then I went to the next page. And I'm not even sure if you can see what I've done here. And, you know, I just put my, like, Chinese astrology out, my auspicious dates for romance, for business, for ritual, for travel. And some of the really cool stuff that I got from Brandy at Hound Dog Hollow. All this stuff, I had to use it. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. So, and then I wrote something about gratitude because gratitude is a huge part of my life. Always being grateful, always being in a state of gratitude. And I just put here to celebrate, reflect on what's good in my life, acknowledge a sense of gratitude for all of my blessings, honor those that you love and those who love you, be very expressive of my gratitude of all those around me, and reward myself in a special way. Gratitude. Come gather for a spell. Because, hey, I'm a Capricorn, okay? And I've got tons of Virgo energy. Actually, I did a chart, and this chart or this site that I went to, and it was like on Chaos Astrology or something like that. And it was just like 6 pages of like figures and stuff. And when it broke down mine, I actually have a higher percentage of Virgo energy than any other astrological sign. Then I believe it was Sagittarius, and then Scorpio, and then Capricorn. But they're really close. I think the highest was like 13 point something percent, then like 12 something, then 12, and then like 11 something, and on all the way down to like Aries, which was like 3.5% of an impact on my astrological. It even gave me like how balanced my masculine and feminine energy was in astrology. And I think my masculine was like 50.8, I believe, or 50.1 maybe. And then the other one was like 49.8 or something like that. It was like so close. I was like, oh, wow. That made me feel pretty good because it means I'm pretty balanced, right? So then the next page that I put up, because I believe this is the Hawkins Scale, and I've shown this before. If you watch Aaron Dowdy, his channel, he shows it quite often. But it's just a scale to show you what the different emotions and places that you are in your life, how they affect your actual vibration, and help you. If you concentrate on the higher ones, they help you to go through the ascension. And so your high ones are like, I don't know if you can see that. So I put that into, and plus my word for next year is expansion. So I put that in here because I feel like December is kind of like emerging from, moving on from 2021 to, or 2020 to 2021. It's like that, like gateway or whatever. And I've been very interested in alchemy also. So I had this alchemy image on my, my backdrop on my computer. And I thought, my gosh, it is just so gorgeous. I love it. I love looking at all of the symbols, and yeah, I mean, it's just like right up my alley. So I printed it off and pasted it into my book. And then the next page is all about like my cards for December. And it just so happens in December, I drew 2 cards. And so I also like to draw 2 cards from the Divine, what is the name of this deck? Gosh, I forgot. Divine Muses deck, I believe. And it just so happens when I drew for it, I drew 2 cards for this month as well, which I thought was really interesting. So I went through and, did some work with all of those, with those cards, and reflected on them and how they would affect my December. And then I like to draw a goddess each month as well. Not necessarily because I'm embracing that energy, but because I just want to learn more and see how it relates to everything else that's going on in my life. And it just so happens, also moving from, like I said, December being like that gateway month onto the energy of next year. And next year, my tarot card is the death card, right? So transformation. And I got the Morrigan. So I did a little bit of research on her, and because I really didn't know a whole lot about her. And there's been some synchronicities with actually her being in my month as well, with other friends and things that I watched. And also there was a quote on one of the places where I had looked for information on her, and I thought it was so crucial to right now. And it was from this site, and it said that her message was, for right now, that a storm is coming. Gather your tribe, reclaim your sovereignty. And I have definitely had some activation dreams about reclaiming like my DNA, or having activated my ancient DNA in order to continue to ascend. And I have had friends that, and family that have had very similar dreams about this, and that messages that we're getting from other people, that now is the time that we need to find our soul tribes because we've got work to do. And so that just like really hit home. And then I'm also drawing a rune for each month and writing about that, because you know what? I want to learn so many different things. And the best way I find to do it, it doesn't have to be a race. Take your time. So each month I am focusing on a goddess, so that it's not like, I'm not like inundated with tons of information all at once. Because if I'm just doing one single thing, I get really, really bored. But if I organize it, then I learn better. I'm actually a pretty fast learner. But so my actual card was Isa, and it's for introspection and ego. And just talking about like blocked situations, a fall of energy, time to take a rest, like kind of recuperate, do some introspection about like your own thoughts, your own agenda. You know, what do you want? Like, take stock, which I thought was perfect also because it's the end of the year and we're moving on to the next year. So I just thought that was just brilliant. Introspection, or I mean, Isa is also about like the water element, but like ice, water as ice. The tree that it's associated with is fir and alder. Herbs is henbane. Crystal is tourmaline. Animal is the white bear, and the star or celestial being it's associated with is the moon. And so I also read a couple of books. I'm reading several books, but ones that I actually finished in December. I read the Four Agreements, and that I loved. I loved it. I think I got through it. I mean, it's a really small book, though. I think I got through it like in a couple hours. And the four agreements are: be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. And always do your best. And I wish I would have had read this book in the beginning of 2020 and really concentrated on the messages, because my year might have been a little bit smoother than what it was. But you know what? I don't have any regrets, because I feel like 2020, even though it was hard as hell, oh my gosh, so much growth comes from learning hard lessons, right? For me, it seems like I always have to learn the hard way, but that's how it sticks with me. I will say, right after I read this, I had fallen asleep, like practically on the book. When I read stuff that's really, really deep, I end up getting really tired afterwards, like it's taken my energy. So I took like a 10 or 15 minute just like snooze. And it's funny, I will go and lay down and read, and I read out loud because Sully likes it when I read to him, and he falls asleep on the bed next to me. So I read out loud, but I retain it better when I read it out loud to myself. And I feel like it's more powerful because of the vibration. And so when I fell asleep, right at the instant, right before I woke up, like that stage, I mean, I was awake, don't get me wrong, but it was in the stage of before I opened my eyes and everything was still dark, but I was very aware. I was aware of everything. This being appeared to me in a split second, and then I woke up and I opened my eyes. But I knew that she was showing herself to me. And she was like a very tall being, like maybe 7 or 8 feet tall. And she was humanoid, but she was an alien. She was not, or even if she was born here, she was not like us human. But she was wearing like a headdress. She reminded me very much of Egyptian. She was wearing a headdress and then had beads coming down. She was very, very pale, white-skinned, very large eyes, tiny nose, small mouth. And she was very, like, serene and elegant. And she was just, like, showing her face to me. And I was talking with some of my girlfriends in a group that we have, because we talk about these shared experiences. And one of them even mentioned she wonders whether or not this being helped inspire this particular book. And maybe that's why this being came to me. But I'm also reading another book. It's called the Sophia Code. And I actually activated one of the codes. And that code was for Isis. So I don't know if it was that also, because this woman that appeared to me, this being that appeared to me, looked very Egyptian. And I've had a lot of Egyptian experiences, or like memories or dreams, very extremely vivid dreams of my life in Egypt. So I just thought that was really, really interesting. And then I also read another book and wrote about that, and that was the Emerald Tablets 101, and this one was by Matthew Barnes, And there was this thing on Amazon for Amazon, what was it called? Prime Reading. But it was through Kindle. And they were offering certain, you didn't have to have a membership or nothing like that. They were offering certain books for free. And you could just read it. And I think you could have like 10, but it wasn't the actual like unlimited Kindle. These were just all free. And so I found that on there and I read that. I think it didn't take me but maybe a day to read it. If that, maybe that was the one that I read it really, really fast. I can't remember. It was not really super long. But these are the 14 different like emerald tablets, actual wording that was written by Hermes Trismegistus that many people associated with like Thoth. And there was 14 different things there, and I'm not going to go into that, but it was pretty cool. And this particular book did the original translation and then did his own translation, Matthew Barnes. So if you get a chance. So those were a couple of books that I actually finished in December. But the other ones, well, the one that I'm really reading also, besides several angel books and stuff like that, the Sophia Code, I highly recommend it. It is freaking awesome. And of course, I'm still going and reading through Amber's book, the Art of Creation, or I think that's what it is, which is really, really good and all kind of falls into the same line. But I haven't finished it, so I haven't put it into my book. I'm putting them into my book as I finish them in whatever month. But all really important messages going forward with everything that's going on, I feel like. But yeah, that was my month with my junk journal. As I said, it's not my regular journal. It's not my planner. It doesn't have all of my like actual dates and ideas for like my videos and stuff like that. This is just like my introspection and further learning with certain things. So I would love to see your videos on your junk journals and stuff like that. Not just like your planners, but I mean your actual journaling and stuff like that if you are, if you share. So if so, down below, let me know in the comments whether or not you've done something like this as well, and send me over to your channel so I can check it out. And I hope you have enjoyed this, and maybe it's given you some ideas. And I'm sending you love and light. Thank you so much.